Eating just once a day sounds simple, almost too simple. Yet inside your body, a complex chain reaction begins the moment your last bite is swallowed. In the next few hours, your system shifts from burning fresh fuel to tapping into hidden reserves. And this quiet transition can change the way your body stores fat, uses energy, and even repairs itself. Some people call it a powerful shortcut to weight loss and metabolic health, while others warn that it can push the body into stress and imbalance. The truth sits somewhere in between, and it is far more fascinating than most people realize. During a full 24-hour cycle, your body moves through different phases, each one unlocking a new process that most people never notice. Blood sugar rises and falls, hormones react in precise patterns, and your body slowly switches from using food as fuel to relying on stored fat. Then, something deeper begins to happen. Cells start cleaning out damaged parts, a process linked to longevity and disease prevention. This stage is often talked about in science circles, yet very few people truly understand when it starts or how it works during a one meal a day routine. At the same time, there are hidden challenges. Hunger does not always behave the way people expect. Energy levels can rise sharply or suddenly drop. Your brain may feel clearer at certain hours and foggy at others. These shifts can determine whether someone succeeds with this method or gives up quickly. The difference often comes down to understanding what is happening beneath the surface. In this video, you will learn exactly how your body responds hour by hour when you follow the one meal a day approach. You will discover when fat burning truly begins, when your body enters a deeper fasting state, and why certain hours are more important than others. You will also uncover lesser known facts about hormones, metabolism, and cellular repair that most videos skip completely. By the end, you will have a clear, realistic view of both the benefits and the risks, so you can decide whether this approach fits your goals. Stay with us until the end because the final phase of the 24-hour cycle reveals the most surprising effects, the ones that can either boost your results or hold you back without you even realizing it. Welcome to our channel, where we break down complex health topics into simple and powerful insights. Subscribe now and join us as we uncover what truly happens inside your body when you eat just once a day. One meal a day, often called OMAD, is a simple way of eating where a person consumes all their daily calories in a single meal and then spends the rest of the day fasting. There are no snacks, no second meals, just one focused eating window, followed by a long break. This approach has gained a lot of attention in recent years, especially among people looking for faster weight loss and better control over their eating habits. Many are drawn to its simplicity, since it removes the need to plan multiple meals or constantly think about food throughout the day. Others are curious about the deeper health effects, as more discussions around fasting, metabolism, and hormone balance continue to grow. Across social media and health communities, OMAD is often described as a powerful method that can help the body reset its natural rhythms. Supporters claim it can improve fat burning, stabilize blood sugar, and even enhance mental clarity during the fasting hours. At the same time, it has also raised questions among experts and beginners alike, especially around how the body handles such a long gap without food. The idea of eating once and then waiting a full 24 hours before eating again feels extreme to some, while others see it as a natural pattern that the human body can adapt to over time. Part of what makes OMAD so interesting is how it changes the typical daily eating cycle. Instead of constantly supplying the body with energy from food, it forces the body to rely on its internal energy stores for most of the day. This shift can trigger a series of changes that unfold gradually, affecting everything from hunger signals to hormone levels. These changes do not all happen at once. They follow a timeline, moving step by step as the hours pass. To truly understand how OMAD works, it is important to look beyond the surface and explore what is happening inside the body during each stage of the fasting period. From the moment the meal ends to the final hours before the next one begins, the body goes through distinct phases, each with its own effects and responses. Let's break down what really happens, hour by hour. During the first few hours after your meal, your body enters what is known as the fed state, a phase where it is fully focused on processing the food you just consumed. As nutrients begin to break down in your digestive system, glucose from carbohydrates starts entering your bloodstream, causing a rise in blood sugar levels. In response, your body releases insulin, a key hormone that helps move this glucose into your cells so it can be used for immediate energy. This is the period where your body has easy access to fuel, so it naturally chooses to burn glucose rather than tapping into stored fat. At the same time, proteins from your meal are being broken down into amino acids, which are used to repair and build tissues, while fats are processed and either used for energy or prepared for storage. The body works efficiently during this stage, directing nutrients exactly where they are needed. Muscles absorb glucose to replenish glycogen stores, the liver stores extra glucose for later use, and any surplus energy that is not immediately required begins to convert into fat for long-term storage. This entire process happens quietly in the background, without you feeling most of these changes directly. Hunger is usually low during this phase because your body is still digesting and absorbing nutrients. Energy levels tend to feel stable or even elevated, especially if the meal was balanced and satisfying. However, the type of food consumed can influence how this stage feels. A meal high in refined carbohydrates may cause a quicker spike and drop in blood sugar, while a meal rich in protein and healthy fats can provide a more steady release of energy. Internally, your body remains in a state where storing energy is a priority. Fat burning is minimal because there is no need to access stored reserves when fresh fuel is readily available. Hormones are aligned to support this process, keeping metabolism centered around usage and storage rather than breakdown. At this stage, your body is focused on using and storing energy. As your body moves past the initial hours after eating, it gradually begins to transition out of the fed state and into a more balanced phase. Between 4 to 12 hours, digestion starts to slow down as most of the nutrients from your meal have already been processed and absorbed. Blood sugar levels begin to stabilize, and insulin, which was elevated earlier to manage glucose, slowly starts to drop. This change is subtle, yet it marks the beginning of a shift in how your body manages energy. With less glucose circulating in the bloodstream, your body starts to rely on stored glycogen, which is the form of glucose kept in your liver and muscles. This stored energy acts as a backup system, helping maintain steady energy levels as the effects of your meal wear off. During this period, you may begin to notice the early signs of hunger returning. It might start as a mild feeling, a small reminder from your body that it is used to more frequent meals. These hunger signals are often influenced by routine as much as actual need, especially if your body is still adjusting to a one meal a day pattern. Hormones continue to adjust quietly in the background. As insulin levels decrease, the body becomes more open to using alternative energy sources, though it does not fully switch just yet. The transition is gradual, allowing your system to maintain balance without sudden drops in energy. For some people, this phase feels calm and steady, while others may experience slight dips in focus or mood as the body adapts to the longer fasting window. This is also the stage where habits and timing begin to play a noticeable role. If your body is accustomed to eating multiple times a day, these hours can feel longer than they actually are. Cravings may appear, often triggered by routine or external cues rather than true physical need. At the same time, if the previous meal was nutrient dense and satisfying, the body can remain relatively stable with fewer fluctuations. Beneath the surface, the body is preparing for a deeper shift. Glycogen stores are slowly being used, insulin continues to decline, and the door begins to open for fat to play a larger role as a fuel source. These changes are not dramatic yet, but they set the foundation for what comes next. This is where things start to shift. As the fasting window extends beyond 12 hours, your body begins to enter a more noticeable metabolic shift. By this point, the glycogen stored in your liver has been significantly reduced, and the steady supply of glucose that once fueled your system is no longer as available. This change pushes your body to look for an alternative source of energy, and it starts turning towards stored fat. This is a natural response, built into your biology, allowing your body to function even when food is not constantly available. During these hours, fat cells begin to release fatty acids into the bloodstream, which are then used by different parts of the body as fuel. The liver plays a key role here, converting some of these fatty acids into ketones, a type of energy that can be used by the brain. This marks the early stages of ketosis, a state where your body starts relying more on fat rather than glucose for energy. It is usually mild at this point, yet it signals that a deeper metabolic transition is underway. Energy levels during this phase can feel different from person to person. Some may notice a steady and calm sense of focus, while others might still be adjusting to the reduced availability of quick energy from carbohydrates. Hunger can come and go in waves, sometimes fading as the body adapts to using fat as a more stable fuel source. This is often the stage where people begin to feel a shift in how their body handles fasting, as the dependence on frequent meals starts to weaken. Hormonal changes continue to support this transition. Lower insulin levels make it easier for fat to be released from storage, while other hormones help maintain energy balance and protect muscle tissue. The body becomes more efficient in managing its internal resources, gradually improving its ability to switch between fuel sources depending on availability. This flexibility is a key part of how the body adapts to longer fasting periods. At the same time, the brain begins to respond to the presence of ketones, which can influence mental clarity and focus. Some people report feeling more alert during these hours, while others simply notice a more stable energy pattern without sudden highs and lows. These effects are subtle but meaningful, especially as the body continues to adjust to this new rhythm. As glycogen levels remain low and fat usage increases, the body settles into a state where stored energy becomes the primary source of fuel. This is the point where the transition becomes more apparent, both internally and in how you may start to feel. Your body is now turning into a fat burning machine. As the fast moves deeper into the 16 to 24-hour range, the body shifts into a more advanced state where internal processes become more focused on maintenance and efficiency. With glycogen stores already low, fat now becomes the dominant source of energy, and the rate of fat burning continues to rise. Fatty acids are released more steadily, and the liver increases its production of ketones, providing a consistent fuel supply for both the body and the brain. This stage often feels different compared to earlier hours, as the body is no longer transitioning but actively operating in this new mode. One of the most talked about processes during this phase is autophagy, a natural system where the body begins to clean out damaged or unused cellular components. Instead of letting these parts build up, the body breaks them down and recycles them, helping maintain healthier cell function over time. This process has been linked to long-term health and is one of the key reasons extended fasting periods receive so much attention in scientific discussions. While it does not switch on like a simple button, the conditions during this stage make it more likely to increase its activity. At the same time, levels of growth hormone begin to rise. This hormone plays an important role in preserving muscle tissue, supporting recovery, and helping the body manage energy more effectively during periods without food. Its increase helps balance the effects of fasting, allowing the body to rely on fat stores while still protecting essential functions. These hormonal changes happen quietly but have a strong influence on how the body performs during extended fasting. Mental clarity is another effect that many people begin to notice during these hours. As ketone levels rise, the brain receives a stable source of energy, which can lead to a more focused and steady state of thinking. Distractions caused by frequent hunger signals often fade, and the mind may feel calmer and more alert. This shift can feel subtle at first, yet it becomes more noticeable as the body continues to adapt. All of these processes work together in the background, creating a state where the body is using its internal systems more efficiently than before. Fat burning is elevated, cellular maintenance is more active, and hormonal balance continues to adjust in response to the extended fast. This is the stage where most benefits happen. As the body adapts to a one meal a day routine, a range of noticeable benefits can begin to appear, especially when the pattern is followed consistently. One of the most common reasons people are drawn to this approach is weight loss. By limiting eating to a single meal, overall calorie intake often decreases naturally, without the need for constant tracking or restriction. At the same time, the long fasting window allows the body to spend more hours using stored energy, which can lead to a gradual reduction in body fat over time. Fat burning becomes more active during extended fasting periods, especially once the body has moved past its initial glucose reserves. Instead of relying on frequent meals for energy, the body becomes more efficient at accessing fat stores, turning them into a steady fuel source. This shift can support a more stable energy pattern throughout the day, reducing the sharp highs and lows that are often linked to regular eating schedules. As this process continues, the body may improve its ability to switch between fuel sources, a flexibility that plays an important role in overall metabolic health. Another important effect is the improvement in insulin sensitivity. With fewer spikes in blood sugar caused by frequent meals, the body has more time to stabilize its insulin levels. Over time, this can help the body respond more effectively to glucose, supporting better energy regulation and reducing the strain on metabolic systems. This is one of the key reasons why fasting patterns like OMAD are often discussed in relation to long-term health and metabolic balance. Alongside these changes, there is growing interest in how fasting may support cellular repair processes. During longer fasting windows, the body has more opportunity to focus on internal maintenance, including the breakdown and recycling of damaged cellular components. This process, while still being explored in research, is often linked to the body's natural ability to maintain and renew itself over time. These benefits do not appear instantly and can vary depending on the individual, their lifestyle, and the quality of the meal they consume. Some people notice faster changes, while others experience a more gradual shift as their body adjusts to the new pattern. The combination of reduced calorie intake, increased fat usage, improved insulin response, and potential cellular maintenance creates a unique set of effects that make this approach stand out. This is why many people see fast results. As effective as a one meal a day routine can be for some people, it also comes with challenges that are important to understand. One of the most immediate effects is hunger, especially during the early stages of adaptation. When the body is used to receiving food multiple times a day, extending the gap between meals can trigger strong hunger signals. These feelings can appear in waves, sometimes intense enough to affect focus, mood, and daily activities. Over time, some people adjust to this pattern, but for others, the discomfort can remain a consistent struggle. Low energy is another common experience, particularly for beginners. During the transition phase, the body is still learning how to switch from using glucose to relying more on stored fat for fuel. This adjustment does not always happen smoothly. There can be periods where energy feels unstable, leading to fatigue, reduced concentration, or a general sense of weakness. Physical performance may also be affected, especially for those who engage in demanding activities or exercise regularly. Until the body becomes more efficient at managing this shift, these fluctuations can make the routine difficult to maintain. There is also the concern of nutrient intake. Eating only once a day means that all essential nutrients must be consumed within a single meal. This can be challenging as the body requires a wide range of vitamins, minerals, protein, and other nutrients to function properly. If the meal is not carefully balanced, there is a risk of falling short on important nutrients over time. This can affect overall health, including energy levels, immune function, and recovery processes. The simplicity of the eating pattern can sometimes lead people to overlook the importance of meal quality. Another factor to consider is that this approach does not suit everyone. Individual health conditions, lifestyle demands, and personal tolerance all play a role in how the body responds to extended fasting. Some people may find it manageable and even beneficial, while others may experience ongoing discomfort or negative effects that outweigh the potential advantages. Differences in metabolism, stress levels, and daily routines can all influence the outcome. These challenges highlight the importance of understanding how the body reacts rather than following a trend without awareness. The intensity of hunger, the variation in energy, and the need for proper nutrition all shape the overall experience. OMAD is powerful, but it is not for everybody. When it comes to following a one meal a day routine, the experience can vary greatly depending on the individual and their background with fasting. People who already have experience with intermittent fasting often find it easier to adapt to this pattern. Their bodies are more familiar with longer gaps between meals, and the transition into extended fasting tends to feel more natural. They may already understand how to manage hunger signals, maintain balanced meals, and adjust their daily routine to support this style of eating. For these individuals, OMAD can feel like a gradual step forward rather than a sudden change. On the other hand, for beginners with no prior experience in fasting, this approach can feel intense from the very beginning. Jumping straight into a full 24-hour cycle without food can place stress on both the body and the mind. Hunger may feel overwhelming, energy levels can fluctuate more sharply, and maintaining focus throughout the day may become difficult. Without a period of adjustment through shorter fasting windows, the body may struggle to keep up with the sudden shift in routine. This can lead to frustration and make it harder to stay consistent over time. Body weight and overall physical condition also play an important role. Individuals who are already underweight may face additional challenges as their bodies have fewer energy reserves to rely on during long fasting periods. In such cases, extended fasting can increase the risk of fatigue, weakness, and nutrient imbalance. The body requires a certain level of stored energy to function properly during fasting, and without it, the effects can become more noticeable and harder to manage. Health conditions are another key factor that should be considered carefully. Certain medical situations may require a more stable and frequent intake of nutrients, making a one meal a day routine less suitable. The body's response to fasting can be influenced by many internal factors, and what works well for one person may create difficulties for another. Daily lifestyle also matters, as work demands, physical activity, and stress levels can all affect how manageable this pattern feels. Understanding where your body stands before starting such a routine helps create a clearer and more balanced approach. The ability to adapt, maintain proper nutrition, and respond to internal signals all shape how this method fits into an individual's life. After looking at the full 24-hour cycle, it becomes clear that a one meal a day routine is much more than just a simple eating pattern. It triggers a series of changes inside the body, from the way energy is used and stored to how hormones respond and how cells maintain themselves over time. For some, this approach can lead to noticeable improvements in fat loss, focus, and overall control over eating habits. For others, the same process can feel challenging, especially when the body is still adjusting to longer fasting periods or when daily demands require more consistent energy intake. The effectiveness of OMAD depends on how it is followed and how well it fits into a person's lifestyle. The quality of the meal, the ability to stay consistent, and the awareness of how the body responds all play an important role in shaping the outcome. Small differences in routine can lead to very different results, which is why some people experience strong benefits while others struggle to maintain it. OMAD can be effective if done correctly, but the real key is understanding your body and recognizing what works best for you over time. Every body responds in its own way, and paying attention to signals like energy levels, hunger patterns, and overall well-being can make a significant difference. Adjusting the approach based on these signals allows the process to feel more balanced and sustainable rather than forced. This awareness often becomes the deciding factor between short-term effort and long-term success. Now the question comes back to you. Would you try eating once a day and see how your body responds? If you found this video helpful and informative, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more simple and powerful insights like this.